What if the Roman Empire never fell? We all know the story. Barbarian invasions, economic collapse, and political instability led to the Western Roman Empire's fall in 476 AD. But what if that never happened? What if Rome, in all its glory, survived into the modern age? Let's explore that alternate timeline. Imagine a world where Latin isn't a dead language, but the global lingua franca, spoken from the sun-scorched sands of Egypt to the misty shores of Britain. Our story begins in the 5th century. Instead of collapsing, a series of brilliant emperors and military reforms managed to push back the migrating tribes. They don't just defeat them, they integrate them. Goths, Vandals, and Franks become federated states within the empire. Their warriors bolstering the Roman legions, infusing new strength into the military. With the western borders secure, the empire can refocus its resources. The split between East and West, which historically became permanent, is healed. A reunified Roman Empire, with dual capitals in Rome and Constantinople, enters a new golden age. Without the dark ages that engulfed Western Europe, scientific and technological progress doesn't stall. The engineering marvels of Rome, aqueducts, roads, concrete continue to evolve. By the year 1000 AD, Roman engineers, building on the knowledge of Hero of Alexandria, might have developed a rudimentary steam engine. Imagine steam-powered triremes patrolling the Mediterranean and a network of paved roads. Now featuring early steam carriages connecting the vast empire like never before. The Industrial Revolution wouldn't wait for 18th century Britain. It would start in first millennium Rome. This technological leap would solidify Rome's dominance for centuries. Now, what about the Americas? When would Rome discover the New World? Without the specific economic pressures that drove Columbus, like the Ottoman blockade of trade routes to the east, the timeline changes. Roman exploration might have been driven more by scientific curiosity or the pursuit of resources. Let's say Roman sailors, using advanced navigational tools developed in the great libraries of Alexandria and Rome, make landfall in the Americas around 1200 AD. They wouldn't be conquistadors in the Spanish sense. The Roman approach to expansion was often one of assimilation and infrastructure. They would likely establish provinces, build cities, roads, and aqueducts, and introduce Roman law and governance. Native populations would face immense challenges, from diseases to cultural assimilation. But the brutal, gold-hungry conquest we know might be replaced by a slower, more methodical integration into the Roman system. We might see cities named Nova Roma or Caesarea flourishing in modern-day Mexico or Peru. Religion would also look drastically different. Christianity, which became the state religion of Rome, would have spread with the empire, but without the schisms and reformations that defined European history, it would likely remain a single, unified institution, headquartered in Rome, with immense political and social power across the globe. There would be no Protestantism, no 30 Years' War. The religious landscape would be far more uniform, perhaps with pockets of old pagan traditions surviving in remote corners of the empire. As we move closer to our own time, say the 19th and 20th centuries, this Roman world would be a marvel of advanced engineering and centralized control. The political system would have evolved, perhaps into a constitutional monarchy or a republic with a powerful senate, but the core identity would remain Roman. Social structures would be rigid, with a strong emphasis on civic duty, law, and order. The concept of Pax Romana, or Roman peace, would be a global reality. However, this world wouldn't be a utopia. A single, dominant world power for 2,000 years would stifle cultural diversity. The vibrant tapestry of European nations, languages, and cultures we know today, French, German, Spanish, English, might never have fully formed, remaining as regional dialects under the shadow of Latin. The ideals of individual liberty and democracy that emerged from the Feist Enlightenment might be replaced by Roman ideals of collective good and duty to the state. Would there be world wars? It's unlikely. Without the competing nationalist ambitions of European powers, the primary cause of World War I disappears. Conflicts would be internal rebellions or civil wars within the massive Roman state, not global clashes between empires. The 20th century might be a period of unprecedented peace and stability, but at what cost? Innovation might slow down, as competition often drives progress. Art and philosophy might become stagnant, endlessly repeating classical forms without the revolutionary breaks that shaped our modern consciousness. So, here we are, in the 21st century of this alternate timeline. We'd be living in a world connected by maglev trains running on perfectly straight Roman roads, communicating in a modern form of Latin, and looking to the Senate in Rome for global leadership. We might have colonies on Mars, powered by technologies developed over 2 millennia of uninterrupted progress. But we might also live in a society with less personal freedom, less cultural variety, and a history that misses the brilliant, chaotic, and diverse story of our own world. The fall of Rome was a catastrophe for its time, but it also paved the way for the world we know. And sometimes, it's the broken pieces that create the most beautiful mosaics. Thanks for watching this journey through an alternate history. What do you think a modern Roman Empire would look like? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more what-if scenarios. See you next time.